The F-16 has for almost half a century been the plane to beat. Since the 70s, when it came, it has been a success, both as an air superiority fighter due to very good aerodynamics and a very good TW ratio, and also as a striker aircraft due to the high payload it can carry. It is a plane loved, not only by the pilots, but by most, all with some insight in this industry. Just looking at the specifications of the F-16, it seems that it is equal and in some aspects better than the Gripen, but nothing can be further from the truth. And this is more or less independent on version of both F-16 and the Gripen. Depending on configuration and version, the F-16 has an equal or higher TW rate, but one needs to consider the wing load and the drag too. Depending on configuration and version, the F-16 has an equal or higher TW rate, but one needs to consider the wing load and the drag too. The Gripen has much lower drag and far lower wing load. The transonic area is much narrower for the Gripen, and it can reach supersonic speeds on dry thrust while carrying a full A2A armament and an external fuel tank, even for the A version, even if it is just on the limit, Mach 1.1, Gripen, E Mach 1.2. Even though the Gripen, in some aspects, lacks the TWR of the F-16, it can match or nearly match the climb rate thanks to low drag. When curving, Gripen hardly lose any energy, which makes it a serious adversary in any merge against any modern fighter, including the Typhoon and the F-22. The TW ration might not be impressive on the Gripen, but in combination with the extremely good aerodynamics, low drag, and low wing load, it can turn inside anything in the air today. The F-16 is no match. During Red Flag 2006 in Alaska, one Gripen, a pilot, knocked down 5 F-16 Block 50+ during close combat. During that exercise, Gripen never lost any aerial encounter or failed their mission objectives. It was the only fighter that performed all planned starts, while others were sitting on the ground waiting for the weather to clear up. The evaluation was that Gripen's capacity needed to be reevaluated, and no disrespect to other pilots, they are equally trained and in a Gripen would be performing equally well. During a combat exercise with the Royal Norwegian Air Force, 3 Swedish Gripens went up against 5 RNF F-16s. The result was 5-0 Druli. However, the F-16 is still compatible on the striker arena. Here it can show as a good, robust, and reliable striker, which for the size can carry a considerable payload, much more than the Gripen. The Gripen can, however, compensate this with a significant shorter turnaround time, which for a strike mission is never more than 20 minutes, performed by a technician and 5 conscripts in a parking lot somewhere in a pine forest as close to the battlefield as possible. When it comes to reliability and accessibility, Gripen has no match on the modern arena. Also here, even if the payload is not as high, it can carry almost anything that is available on the market. The Gripen will be able to do this with an app. Of course, some testing is required, but not in any level compared with other fighters. So how does the Gripen compare to the F-16? It is simply superior. F-16 is an excellent off-the-shelf fighter if you, for some reason, can't afford Gripen and must buy US-made. But it is time to put it in a museum. If the customer must buy US, I would look at Super Hornet, Super Eagle, or if you want to get ripped of the F-35. Yes, the F-35 will probably be superior in many aspects, but the cost to fly it will kill any defense budget short of the US.